There's a bunch of people making videos on MP materials now. Guys, we were talking about it 2 weeks ago. So I'm gonna cover it again in this video because it is up 16% today, right now, as we speak. And again, I was talking about this a couple weeks ago when this was under $17 per share. So if you wanna hear more about MP materials, stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I'm Richard Allan. We talk about stocks on this channel, and this stock is blowing up right now, blowing up today. It's up 100% over the past month. And this is a really, really exciting company. It's an exciting opportunity. We're gonna do a couple things in this video. We're gonna listen to the CEO of MP Materials. MP Materials is a rare earth metal miner and processing company. They are super unique. We always look for these unicorns in the stock market, right? If you want a unicorn, this is a unicorn. There is nobody else that does what they are going to be doing in the entire Western Hemisphere. In the entire, like South America, North America, right? This is really, really exciting. So we're gonna listen to the CEO for about a minute and a half. We're gonna talk about price action, where I think the stock will go over the next, I don't know how long. I'm afraid to say 10x because I don't want to hype a stock up, guys. But seriously, guys, this is a very unique opportunity. It's a unique company. It's a unicorn, and we look for those unicorns. So let's just jump right over to the talk that the CEO had with someone on CNBC. And the first minute and a half is really, really good because it breaks down what MP Materials is and the importance of what they do here in the Western Hemisphere, in the United States, because of what's going on in the rest of the world, specifically China, with these rare earth metals. So let's jump right into the video right now.
I know we've spoken with you in the past and explained to people about rare earth materials, what they're used for, but it's been a while. So why don't you walk us through this again? You're named MP because MP Materials owns and operates Mountain Pass. That's the only integrated rare earth mining and processing site in North America. These rare earth materials.
One quick thing about Mountain Pass. Mountain Pass is a mine that has been there for a long time, okay? The U.S. used to be the leader in rare earth metals. And there was a company called Molycorp, because this came up in the comments last time. It's going to come up again. There was a company that owned this mine called Molycorp that went bankrupt just 5 years ago. Okay? Molycorp is not MP Materials. It's a completely different company, completely different management, completely different backers. And they're backed by people like Chamath Palihapitiya, the U.S. government. I mean, this is a big, big deal. But I wanted to point that out, that there was a company that owned Mountain Pass that went bankrupt not that long ago. Molycorp is not MP Materials. You need to keep that in mind when you think about this company, okay? This is a new opportunity.
Used for things like electric vehicles. So walk us through a little bit what happened with the China squeeze.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you. And so rare earth materials, the key use case are for magnets for electric vehicles, wind turbines, drones, robots. Pretty much any advanced motion technology of the 21st century requires these materials. The key thing, and I think it's an important distinction as people think about the landscape for electrification, which is very clearly one of, if not the most powerful theme in the markets in the coming years, is that for us, for rare earth materials, our stuff goes into the magnets for the motors for most of these things. So when you think about batteries and some of those other things where you have technology that is sort of still up in the air, and you've spent a lot of time on the air talking about hydrogen versus electric and some of these other things. No matter how the energy gets to the motor, you pretty much need rare earth materials in these technologies to make the move. So it's a very important industry. And as you said, the Chinese dominate this supply chain. They have north of 80% of this supply chain. And so we are restoring that right here in the United States of America, and our mission is to make sure that there is a strong American company that can also lead in this space.
The main reason, my last video on MP Material a couple weeks ago, what the thumbnail said, "Can this company beat China?" And the title was "With National Security and EV Ties," because this is a big, big deal for the U.S. When what MP Materials does right now is they're massive in this space already. They're profitable. But right now, so far, right, they mine these materials, and for processing to create these rare earth magnets, they have to send all of that material to China. Because over the past 20, 30 years, China has become the dominant player, frankly, in a lot of different industries in the world. But they've become a massive player in the rare earth metals and magnets industry, a massive player. And essentially the only place you can get these materials processed is in China. So MP Materials right now mines these materials, they send them to China. China gets to dictate and set whatever prices they want to process, right? Because nobody else is doing it. I stated this in my last video that MP Materials has come out and said they're committed to being a low-cost provider in this space. Because what's going to happen with rare earth metals actually aren't very rare, but they're very difficult to process. We talked about that in our last video as well. They're not super rare, but they're difficult to process. So what happens then, right? Similar to like a commodity, right? As supply gets squeezed, right? Because EV is slated to go through these materials relatively quickly, but prices will get squeezed. We'll see supply constraints. And when that happens, we'll see other mining companies jump in and start mining this material. So what makes MP Materials a unique opportunity right now is they will be the player, the only player in the entire Western Hemisphere to be processing these materials. And they're almost $2 billion ahead of the competition, if there is any competition, in terms of processing. That's one of the most beautiful things about this opportunity. When we were talking about it just a couple weeks ago, the market cap of this company was less than $2 billion. Less than $2 billion, and they have like 1.7 some billion dollars in assets and infrastructure. So their market cap was virtually equal with their infrastructure and their assets. This is crazy, crazy opportunity. You rarely see companies that are unique and have that sort of positive environment for investors. So it's no wonder that some of these investors like Chamath and these other investors and the U.S. government is giving them grants and stuff as well. It's no wonder that's happening with MP Materials. Now, one thing I don't know a ton about, and I'm going to do some more research on, and you guys have pointed this out to me, and I've seen it in comments on some of the other videos and channels. MP Materials has a stakeholder that owns 10% of the company that is a Chinese company or national. I don't know. I don't know if it's one single person or if it's a Chinese company or what. So that's something we need to consider. I'm going to do more research about that, and I will get back to you on that, okay? There is plenty of Chinese investment in the U.S., like hundreds of billions of dollars, if not more. I mean, there's a ton, right? There may even be in the $1 trillion range. I mean, there's a ton of investment from China here and vice versa here in China. So you've got to keep that in mind. We are a global economy. You're bound to see some investors excited about companies like this, right? I don't know if that's anything to worry about, but some of you are saying that is a concern, so I wanted to bring that to your attention. But MP Materials, I think this is one of those opportunities that don't come around a lot. It doesn't happen very often. And this company came on my radar because of one of you, because of one of your comments. And I shouted you out in the video last time. And I love that you guys bring this kind of stuff to my attention, because I had no idea. I don't know anything about mining or rare earth metals or magnets. I've played with magnets with my kids, but I don't know anything from a scientific standpoint about any of this stuff, right? But we don't have to understand this company 100% to see the value, the future value in this company, the necessity that is MP Materials. And like he just said, the EV space, wind turbine, like green energy, period. Hydrogen. Like, so even if hydrogen starts picking up as a fuel source, they still need these rare earth metals to run their motors. Anything with advanced motion, he's saying, can use these rare earth metals. And I'm sure you guys are going to tell me down in the comments that there's a bunch of other use cases as well. And I also welcome any sort of dialogue that we might have about some negatives with the company. And if any of you know more about this Chinese investor at all, let me know, please. I would love that. I made a much more in-depth video just a couple weeks ago. Like I said, on November 22nd, look it up. The thumbnail says, "Can this company beat China?" And I would love for you guys to watch that as well, because it goes over a little more in depth, the numbers of the company, different things like that. I do want to take a peek at the chart really quick, because look at this. I mean, it gapped up a ton today. Just Friday, it closed at $22 and some odd cents, and it just shot right up. You know, at one point today, it got up to $27.81. And people, some people took some profits. I heard from one of you saying, "It's so high. What do I do?" I don't know. I think this is one of those companies that you're going to look back on in 10, 20 years and go, "Man, I wish I would have." You know, I don't know. And that's why I'm investing in this company. And I have a cost basis in like the 1750 range. So I'm doing really, really well on this trade, like 60% up. This is a really good investment, I think, long term. That's what I'm thinking for this company, because this is going to really start to get on people's radar as you know, what happens when Jim Cramer starts talking about MP materials, right? Starts screaming about, "Hey, we need rare earth metals, guys, are you ready to do this?" Like, this is gonna go crazy. Stock's gonna go crazy. I don't know, man. Like, seriously, this is a big opportunity. I'm really, really excited about it. You guys know how I feel about companies like this, but this is a unique opportunity. Similar to some others that we talk about. But I think this is the most unique company we talk about, because it's going to be the only place that this can be done in the entire Western Hemisphere. And they're slated to do that in a few years. So this is an exciting company, to say the least. I'm really, really excited to share this info with you guys. And just remember, we talked about it here a couple weeks ago. So there's a link down below for my Patreon. I'm kidding. I don't have a Patreon. I'm kidding. Like, I love making these videos for you guys. It's so much fun. So some of you guys are like, "Hey, get a Patreon. Do you have a Discord? Do you have a Patreon?" I don't have any of that stuff yet. I try to make as many videos as quickly as I can for you guys. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for another video. As always, if you didn't already do it, click that beautiful red subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.